badminton
Meaning
community
is
app, right? So badminton app, everyone made the badminton app, right? Can you give me thumbs up? Hello. Yeah, yeah. So it was a great session on vibe coding, and where we learned the concepts how LLM works, right? Need a Fourier app, Fourier. Great, great, Raghav, great. List app with no bugs. Oh, great, great, Raghav, great. Nice to hear such feedbacks. Great, Raghav, great. So I think we already done a lot of vibe coding, right? So this session, I think it was somehow planned like means we won't be able to complete it in one session, but we were great, fortunate enough we were able to do it in one session, right? In this session, we will be discussing something interesting, right? We will together make this session interesting, right? Yeah, thanks. So I made my own AI called Omni AI and gave. Arey wah, great, great, Atif, great. Yeah, yeah. So in this session, I have seen like you have attended some session related to when you type google.com, right? How the routing happens to the Google server, how first of all to DNS server get the IP address, ARP protocol, all those things you have attended. You have attended all those sessions, right? Can you give me thumbs up? Okay. Okay, great. So today in this session, we will be discussing something very technical aspect of network security, account security, because those are very deep fundamentals, right? Which is I think everyone should be aware of, right? And I have some industry experience where I worked on certain security aspects, right? We will be deep dive into that. So yeah, means I will try my best to make it as simple as possible, right? Because security, you would have heard about encryption, cryptography, decryption, these words you would have heard a lot, right? So I don't want to go into such a deep detail of mathematics, right? How we understood the complex LLM mathematics in a very simple term. Today we will make sure like this security aspects, web security, network security, we understand it with a in a very simple manner, so that you get good idea. So give me thumbs up if you are interested to know about all those network security and all these aspects. Give me a thumbs up. Great, great, great. You will really if you are curious enough, right, you will really love how the things work, right? So first of all, just tell me how many of you are aware of what is authentication and what is authorization. These are terms you would have heard a lot of time, but I want to know how much information you have related to that. What is authentication, what is authorization? Don't do Google and all, don't use AI, just whatever you think. You would have heard this term multiple times somewhere. Authentication is like verification of user, yes. And what is authorization? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Correct. Atanu, permission, yes, yes, you are right. Great, great. Great, actually I liked like you guys are aware of, so my session becomes easy to handle. Correct, correct, Shubham, that's right. I'm very much happy you know these concepts at least. So authentication for others, right? It is like, for example, uh, so if we have done with the badminton app, right? And in the badminton app, let's take that example. In the badminton app, we created a community, right? So for example, you add some feature called login, right? It's not like open create community and all. You have a feature of login, right? Once you log into the app, right? Then you perform all these operation, create community and all, right? So if I make it open, right, then it will be a problem. For example, I am creating a community for my society, right? Every person in the my society will try to create the community, and it will be lot of duplications, right? So for example, I say create community will be handled by admin, right? Admin will be creating the community, admin will be adding the players, right? So this process is called authorization. What is authentication? As many mentioned here, means once the user is verified, whether the user is authenticated user. For example, when I give username and password, for example, I'm going to gmail.com, I give username and password. Now server knows who actually logged in, right? So this process is called authentication, right? Server knows who logged in. So, sir, if let's say I gave my username password, server knows Gaurav Kaushik has logged in. This is called authentication. And what is authorization? What all operations I can perform with a one person mentioned it rightly here. It is related to permissions, or I can say it is related to scopes, right? So, for example, I'm so when admin is logging in to my badminton app, I will enable the create community um, button for him, right? He can create a community. I will make sure like the access and all for the API, for the creating the community, I will only restrict it for the admin, right? And rest will be in view only mode. For example, if other person is logging in, he will be just seeing, oh, I'm part of this community, click on it and see all the players of that community, right? So this is view only mode. He will not be able to add player, he will not be able to any create any new thing. So he's able to log in, the server is able to recognize like Ativ logged in. Ativ, let's say I am the admin of that app, right? Ativ logged in, server is able to recognize he is Ativ. This is called authentication, right? But Ativ is not the admin, right? He does not have access to create community, he does not have access to add players to the community. That who can do it? I can do it. I'm the admin, right? So when I will be logging in, my scopes, my permissions are different. So this is called authorization. Everyone, please give me thumbs up if you got this concept. In case any doubt, please speak or write in chat. Oh, great. Crystal clear. That's great. So, authentication is server knows who the user is. Authorization is defining the roles, defining the permissions. This user can access what all resources on the server. This user can access what all permissions this user has. This is called authorization. For example, in WhatsApp, when you are logging in to you are seeing a group, right? So you are logged in, you are authenticated. Server WhatsApp Facebook server actually authenticated you, right? But you are in a group, you are not the admin of that group. So you can't add member, you can't delete member, you can't delete chat from that group. And who can do it? The admin can do it. So admin scope is very higher. This is called authorization. So admin can add the participant, delete the participant, delete the group. He can actually block you, he can remove you from the group. So all these access which the which the admin is doing, he has higher scopes. Now I can say higher authorization grade, higher authorization level. You being a user, server recognized you, but you have certain scopes, right? You can't perform those operations. So in short, in one line, my speed is slow, but because I have to take everyone, right? So everyone should understand. Authentication is server knows who you are, but what all roles you have. So server knows who you are, this is authentication. Authorization is what all roles you can perform, that is called authorization, right? What all access you have in the on the resources once you are logged in. So this is authentication, this is authorization. Now let's discuss some very brief concepts, right? So so like when we open a web page, right? For example, I open zomato.com, right? I'm clicking on some maybe restaurant or something, I'm ordering something, right? So for you, when you let's say log in, right, you logged into the Zomato site, right? Now in each request, I would like everyone to server admin, yeah. So I would like to everyone to please focus, because I want response from you all, right? When you are logging to Zomato, now Zomato server knows who you are, right? Now you are putting subsequent request. You may be going to the activity page, you may be going to the restaurant, clicking on some restaurant, ordering food. Now the server knows who you are, right? And we say HTTP as a stateless. So how this communication is happening in each subsequent request, how the server knows who you are? Anyone, any guess, anyone? OTP, this is one time password, this is extra authentication. But I'm saying, like, once you log in, let's say you log into Zomato site, right? Now you are performing a lot of operations. Now server knows who you are. You can do back. Back is actually browser history. It is not going to the server at all. But if you're clicking on profile, you are getting your own information. If you are going to address page, you are getting your address, right? Not somebody else address, right? So how the server is knowing in all the subsequent requests it is you, so that it responds with your data. IP address, unique authentication ID. Atanu is right to much extent. See, IP address, phone number, data feed, you are doing a right. You are, at least you are thinking, right? These can be the solution. I can use IP address, I can use phone number, data feed, and all those. At least you are thinking in that direction. But if you would have attended some other sessions, how google.com and all those work, right? So like IP address can change. For example, if I'm using DAC protocol, right? If I'm again connecting to internet, I'm using mobile data, Wi-Fi, and all, right? Dynamic host control protocol, it can give me some other IP address, right? Then with disconnection, connection, all those things happens. Your IP address may change. So these are not the exactly the answer, right? But uh, yeah, what Atanu mentioned, or unique authentication ID. Atanu is right. He's right. So we call it as session ID. We call it as session ID. So I'll tell you. Let me share my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible. My screen is visible. Everyone, please give me thumbs up if my screen is visible. Okay, great. So I just mirrored my phone so that with the diagrammatically, I can explain you certain things. So for example, so this is a server. This is your Google server, right? And now you are client. You are working on a computer, on a browser, right? Now you need to talk to the server. So you are seeing the web page and all, but to talk to a server, there is a protocol which we call as API. API is nothing but there is a protocol to talk for between different machines, right? So for example, if I'm talking to let me check. So if I'm talking to Ativ, right? So if I know French, he knows Hindi, right? So we will not be able to communicate with each other, right? So there are certain contract we define. For example, I say I can speak Hindi, Ativ say I can also understand Hindi. We will be able to communicate with each other, right? So for example, this person is typing google.com and try to connect to Google server, right? Now he logged in, he gave his username, he gave his password, right? And try to authenticate with Google server, right? Now Google server, what it will does is, this is a server. Now Google server will create session ID. Its format can be some GUID or something. So it's a unique session ID. Each session will have a unique ID. GUID we take it because it can goes huge, large. It can append. It can be generated with current time stamp and lot of things. But you can consider it is some ID X Y Z under hyphen 1 2 3 hyphen A B C. So it will generate this session ID. Who is generating this session ID? Server is generating. In this case, if it is a Google server is generating this session ID, and Google server will give this session ID back to the browser. So this in laptop, he has opened the browser. Google server will give this session ID back to the browser, right? Now, in all the subsequent request, the browser will send the session ID to the server. So as a part of cookie, for example, I can say XYZ123 ABC, right? And will send this, and the server will be able to recognize whose the session is, right? So this is clear to everyone what we are talking about. Let me, hello, hello, this is clear. Can you give me thumbs up if it is clear? Okay, so if you are not getting, it's completely fine, right? These are complex topics. So but I will again repeat. So once from the browser you typed username password, it went to server generated the session ID. Now server pass you back this session ID. Now the browser got this session ID. Now browser, whatever the server generated, now the browser is talking to the server with this session ID. Now let's say a browser click on profile page, right? It will tell load me the profile page, and this is my session ID. Now the server actually made a map. If you are not clear with the map, it's fine. Means what it will do is with each session ID, it will store the profile information, right? Now when the browser will again go to the server, like clicking on let's say account activity page, profile page, and say this is my session ID, browser already map like for this session ID, this is the profile data, and it will be able to respond you based on your profile data, right? So everyone clear with this, or there is any doubt? Great, great, great. If there is any doubt, please let me know. Means if we put session ID in other browser, it will open the session in that browser. So Raghav, this is very good point you are raised. I will actually come to it, like what is the repercussion and all those things, and how we can make it more secure. Right now, server generated. Now everyone should be clear. Server generated the session ID. Browser got it. Now when server generated the session ID, it stores the user profile information, right? And it's specific. Every session ID is unique. For example, even if any person is logging in, right, every person will get the unique session ID, and that session ID is mapped to your account data. Now server generated session ID, it is your session, it has user profile information of you. Now server send it back to the browser. Whenever it will again go back to the server to load activity and all, it will pass the session ID. Server knows with the server ID which whose session it is. This is Ativ session. So the profile data, everything, it should be of Ativ. So it will with the session ID, it knows your identity and respond with the data of that user specific, right? So I think this should be clear to everyone. Now let's discuss like how cloud handle multiple IDs. Yes, actually, we'll come to it, Ativ, right? This is the basic sense, but there is a lot of authentication, with a lot of layers on top of it, right? Security layer. So let's discuss the important point here. For example, when web was growing, right, when web was developing and all, right? So even today, what they use, one person has a session ID to other browser and all, right? So there was a high risk, right? If session ID or some cookies authentication, there is something called authorization header, right? If those things are actually stolen, right? So I can impersonate other person. For example, I have a Google session, right? I means I logged into Google, right? Some other person stole my session ID. These are part of cookies word I'm not saying, because otherwise there may be multiple people who are not aware of cookies. So just see, he stole my session ID, the person stole my headers, right? And try to use them. Right now the Google server will actually think, oh, let's say Ativ stole it. I was part of I logged into Google server. Now Google server, with these headers and session ID, Google may think, oh, Gaurav he's Gaurav, right? And he can get the data, my data, though Ativ is not authorized to get access to this data, right? So this is clear, the problem statement we are discussing. Please give me thumbs up if the problem statement we are discussing is clear. Correct, correct. So the Raghav, you whatever you are saying, we are discussing that thing. If the cookie, you couldn't, I'm not using cookies. If session IDs and all are stolen, right, and then we can the hacker can impersonate other person. For example, I am logged in. Atif took my session ID, my headers, my data, and send it to the Google server. Now Google server will think he's Gaurav, and he can get access to my data, right? This is one of the hacking. This is one of the hacking, right? So that now, so I'm actually, a lot of people, if they have a lot of information of security and all, they may think things doesn't work exactly in that way, but that is fine. I'm talking about when the web was growing, right? So how the security and all enhanced later, we will discuss it. So when the web was growing, so this was a major concern. So what protocol decided is, let's expire the session after 10 minutes. For example, session is created, right? After 10 minutes, expire the session, right? Expire session means, if you are logged into, let's say, Google server or Amazon server, Google server, what it will do is, it will remove your session ID, your session data, everything. Now if browser again try to contact with the same session ID, Google server will say, oh boss, I don't have this data, please reject the request, right? So in this way, there is some security. For example, I use my session for 5 minutes, the other person stole my session data, right? My session ID and my other headers data, and try to impersonate and try to feed it to Google server. Maybe for 5 minutes he will be able to exploit, but after 5 minutes I use, 5 minutes he use, after that the session will be clear. Google server will remove the session ID, and the data is gone. Again, either I try to again go with the same session ID and all, whether the hacker tries to go, Google will reject this request, right? So the hacker was able to exploit only for 4 5 minutes, maximum 10 minutes, right? This is clear to everyone. Yeah, so Prava, yeah, you means you have to log in to the account, but once you log in, right, your session is created. Now you have a session ID, right? With this session ID, right? So see, you have to log into the account. You are thinking, I'm not saying you are thinking wrong. So when I'm talking about client and server, those are located at a very distance, right? Now the data has to travel. Now the data, we have some identifier which is traveling to server, right? Which identifier which is specific to me. Google server is able to recognize me based on those identifier. If you get those identifiers, right, definitely you are trying to send the same data to the server, right? So uh, Google, if there is an IP address authentication and all those things, we can fix this problem. But Google will get the data of the identifier which I am owning, Google generated for me, and Google is saving my profile data with that identifier. If you got it, so Google will think I am only calling you, right? And he can share my data with you. Okay, I'm just stop sharing for now. So this is clear, right? So if we have a fixed 10-minute window of the session, right, then we can say we definitely we have some security, right? Everyone agrees to it. Like we have good security, we just fix it for 10 minutes. And government side, generally if you see, after 10 minutes you are thrown out of the session. So everyone agree to it. Please give me thumbs up. Correct. After that it will show session expired, right? Because the session ID is actually removed from the Google server, right? Now now you would have question in mind. I logged into Gmail on my laptop, right? And I'm using it like hell, means I'm not logging it again. This might be a huge risk, right? Session ID if is stolen and all those things, my data would be stolen and all those things, right? So let's discuss about this, right? How Google actually make sure like you are protected to very good extent, right? uh, Browser, okay. So this comes into concept of some acha, okay. Before going there, how many of you know how salting of data? Salting is one of the way. Actually, we are not going in that depth, Shubham, because there are multiple people who will not be understanding. So how many of you know what is phishing? Anyone heard about phishing? RBI actually, lot of RBI make you aware of phishing and all those things. What is phishing? Can you write in the chat? Actually, I want energy from you people, because I'm not well and I'm conducting session. If you give me your energy, will give me energy also. Data stole, kind of stealing information. Yeah, yeah. Make a fake page to gather info of ID. Yeah, yeah. This is lucky. Yeah, you are very very right. Phishing is like impersonating a website to make users give sensitive information. Great, great. So for example, I'll tell you in very simple example, right? So for example, you are logged into gmail.com. Fine, you are logged in, right? Now you in your email you got some link, right? For example, if I talk about Ativ is doing some experiment in hacking, right? You are not stealing data, Ativ, I'm just saying experimenting, right? So Ativ has its own server, not google.com. It is called geogle.com. Let me share my screen, right? So just a second, download it. 1 second. Okay, I think I have to again enable my developer mode always going. So I'm not sharing my screen for now. Huh. So for example, Ativ has its own server and its domain is geogle.com, right? And once you log into Gmail, Ativ sent like you have a very good offer. You are getting AI Pro, right? Just click on this and some coupon code, then dot geogle.com, right? Now a person who is logged into Google, right, he will say, oh, I'm getting some AI Pro, I need it, that's good. And he ignored, it's not Google, it's Gogle. And who owns Gogle server? Ativ owns this server. Now when you click on that link, what will happen is, Ativ is a very smart engineer. He loaded the web page. So this web page is coming from Gogle server, which is owned by Ativ. And in this web page he has run a code, JavaScript code, which runs in UI. I'm just not mentioning JavaScript because a lot of people will get confused. So in his web page he has written a script like, give me all the browser cookies and fed all these browser cookies to my server, right? Definitely you are connecting to his server, his JavaScript, when he will actually accumulate all the cookies. And then he will so you are connecting to his server. There is some JavaScript code, some code running, which will actually gather all the session ID, all this data, right, which are part of cookies and header. And all this cookies is fed to Ativ server, which is geogle.com, right? Now Ativ can impersonate you. How? Now Ativ no has the session ID. Ativ has a lot of data with authorization and all those headers, right? So Ativ stored it in his server. He took that and tried to impersonate you. So whoever the person clicked, right? Now he becomes the victim. Now the Google's Gmail server will think, oh, this guy, and share the data with Ativ, right? And Atif can do other activities. Though he is doing research work, he is not doing, he's just want to earn some money with bug bounty. So he is not in wrong intention, but he just tried to see whether this thing breaks, then I will get some money from Google, right? So these are bug bounty programs. I just mentioned it. So if you find some flaw, security issue and all thing, Meta, Facebook, every company, Salesforce, LinkedIn, they have a bug bounty program. You find any security issue, report them. You are paid in 10,000, 20,000, some bugs in $50,000, right? So that is the extra information which I gave you. So now Ativ, so I was logged into Gmail. Now Ativ can access my data, right? How many? Please give me thumbs up if you are clear what I am explaining. Please give me thumbs up. Lucky, Ativ, Raghav, it is clear the concept, right? If you, right, it's very simple concept. Means you click on, thinking it's a Google domain, you clicked on it, you clicked on the Ativ server, and then Ativ wrote a code like all the browser cookies, session IDs, everything fed to my server. Ativ got all the data. Ativ can impersonate you, otherwise it is difficult. How he will connect to your server to get all this data? It is not possible, but he made you fool by clicking on the link, right? This is one of the example of phishing, right? And you, that's why RBI say don't click, because if you are logged in to some SBI site, it's a problem. Yeah, he can see your bank balance that is going in millions, right? So Atif is doing bug bounty research. He's not doing any fraud. So actually, when you do, you have to report. Like I can earn, but I'm just reporting the problem, right? So now now you understood about phishing, and from now onwards you will not click on the link, because you know how the clicking on the link, how dangerous it can be. But there are certain things, right, which protect you from doing all those problems, right? Bug bounty research means bounty, okay. So uh, there is something so now let's go understood the simple concept, how Google makes sure no one is able to exploit you more than means no one is able to exploit you max as possible. And while taking in care, you are logged in for a very long time, because if you are logged into Gmail, you are not logged in for 10 minutes, you may be logged in for days, right? How Google and big companies are able to what extra authentication security layer they have added, we will discuss in detail. So do you want to know, is the topic interesting to you? Please give me thumbs up, we can discuss. Great, great, great. So if some people who are not getting, it's completely fine, right? It is a bit of complex topic, right? But we will, when you are here, we will definitely, one second, we will definitely make it easy, means with whiteboarding and all, you will understand this concept. Let me open the developer option, give me a minute. You have any other session after this? Any other session you have today? At what time? At what time? 2 o'clock. Oh, I have a hard deadline then. Okay. Just a second. I'm just sharing my screen. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute, please. Auto blocker off. USB debugging. I'm enable. Okay. USB tethering. Let me again check if it works. Yeah, it is working. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible. My screen is visible, everyone. Please give me thumbs up if it is visible. Okay. Okay, let's understand this concept. How Google is actually making you log in for so long, right? So there is something called, so for example, we talk about session id, which is session token also, we can call it, right? For example, you are a client, right, working on a laptop, right? This is a Google server, right? Now you are making a call. You logged in, you provided your username, password, you logged in, right? And Google actually generated the access token for you. And take it as a session token, access token, means take it as a similar thing. So Google is not only generating the access token, Google is generating one more token called refresh token. So here, when you are logging in, one is you are getting the access token, and another thing you are getting is refresh token. Now what is the significance of both the token? You are actually getting two tokens here, and how you it can save you, we can discuss in detail. One is access token, and there is another is refresh token, right? How, when you have two tokens, how you are how Google can save you to much extent, let's discuss this. Access token lifetime will be of 10 minutes, like similar to session token. Refresh token, maybe it may live, uh, I can't I will tell it like refresh token concept, but refresh token, generally it is longer, but for more security Google generates the refresh token again and again. Let's discuss in detail. So this much is clear, like Google server is generating two tokens. Can you give me thumbs up if this is clear? Can you give me thumbs up? Hmm. Now Google has generated two tokens, right? How it is saving you, though you are logged in for 48 hours. After 10 minutes, when you try to make, after 10 minutes passed, 10 minutes passed, right? You can see it's a timeline. Now you are again making a call to Google server with your laptop. Pardon my drawing. And you got refresh token, access token, but you are always communicating using access token. You are not sending refresh token unnecessarily. You will, after 10 minutes, you will again pass the access token to the Google server. After 10 minutes, Google server will say, sorry boss, the token expired. You, this is no more exist, because Google actually thrown you out from the session, right? Now Google will actually uh, make a call to the client to get you the, get the refresh token what it actually passed earlier. Now the client will pass, the client is not making username password again and again. Instead of that, browser already has your refresh token, browser will pass now refresh token. Browser is now passing what? Refresh token. Now when the browser is passing the refresh token, with this token Google will generate new access token and new refresh token, because now your older access token is expired. Now Google will generate a new access token, 81 I can say, and some mostly this is extra precautionary. Google will generate another refresh token. Earlier 80RT, I can mention it RT1. Now let's discuss how it will save you. Let's say someone took your whole of this data, ATRT, everything, right? Access token is taken, refresh token is taken, and try to impersonate you. Right now he's passing access token, it expired, it actually told, give me your refresh token. Now you have the refresh token also, you will say, I have the refresh token, what is the problem? Google will give me new refresh token, I will pass the refresh token. You are not giving username password, you have the access to this refresh token. The here I can say one hacker, right? He passed the refresh token, he passed the refresh token. Now Google generated access token 1, access token 2, again refresh token, access token 1. I can say it as 2 because 1 now we already take. Access token 2, refresh token 2. The hacker got access token 2, refresh token 2, right? Now you are continuously, you are using Google service. Now when your, after 10 minutes your 81 will expire. Now you will tell Google ki you will pass 81. This is you, this is you, this is hacker Atif, right? Now you will now when you pass 81, Google, because 81 after 10 minutes it will expire. Google will tell, sorry boss, your session expired, give me RT1, the other token which was generated in this call. Now you will pass RT1. What you will pass? RT1. When you will pass RT1, Google already knows, it has issued RT2 already to the hacker. So Google server, when it will find the discrepancy, like this is art, when Google server to find, like I generated the previous one RT2, I am getting an older copy RT1, that means this account is hacked. So in 10 minutes Google will log you out from all the devices. That means even you are right or this is hacker who is genuine, Google doesn't care because there is no way to know. But what it will do is it will log you out from all the devices so that the genuine user will log in again. So this one is clear to you, everyone? This one is clear or any doubt? So I will just summarize what we were discussing, right? So access token and refresh token. Refresh token you are passing when access token is expired. If your access token and refresh token both are hijacked, right, now hacker will get some other refresh token, right? It's fine, he's using your thing, right? On with other, because when your access token one will be expiring, he will be getting another access. Now when your access token is expired, right, because it is expired here, 81 was expired here, that's why he got hacker got 82 and RT2, right? When again you will make call, you will pass 81 and 81 is expired. It will say session is expired, give me RT. Now when you will give, try to give RT, you will pass RT. Google knows it already issued you RT2, this is RT1, this is older copy. That means someone hacked your session, that's why he impersonated you, and you are using some older token, that means some issue happened and you will be logged out from all the devices. So this one, this is clear to everyone. Please give me thumbs up if, oh great, Atul. So if you are not, if you didn't get, it's fine, this is some complex topic, but if you get some gist how the things are working, right, that is also a good thing. So let's discuss. So we discussed a lot of things regarding encryption and decryption, right? So let's discuss what is so for example, I means one small question to everyone. So when I'm passing the data, for example, any file, any text message, right? So how you know, like there is no means how we are sure if spoofing happens, no one in the network is able to read our data. What is why no the person who is spoofing is not able to access the data? What is the reason behind that? Anyone? Means the question is, you are sending the data, for example, Arohan, I'm sending some message, right? End to end encryption, correct? So encryption is the right answer. So encryption is very broad term, right? There is a private key, public key, lot of things involved, right? But let's understand the basic of encryption, how encryption works, right? How and how this funda started. What is private key, what is public key? If I go into that detail, a lot of you won't be able to understand, but we will definitely understand it gradually, right? If my let me share my screen. You are able to see the slide I am showing? Please give me thumbs up. You are able to see the slide? Great. Now consider this. This person is sending a box of money to this person, right? He is doing some dunzo service or some service to send it, right? So now there is a parcel guy who will take it, right? Now when he's sending this, right, maybe he's not honest, right? He opened it, so very expensive and items are there. He got happy and he ran away. Now he became happy कि पैसा ही पैसा हो गया मेरे पास, तो अब मुझे जॉब करने की जरूरत ही नहीं, ये पार्सल वगैरह का काम there is no need to do, right? So he is happy. There is a challenge how he will send the expensive item to this person. The similar is thing, you have a client, you have a server, those are very farther apart. You are giving very sensitive information to server, including your maybe CVV pin, all those things, right? And all those are encrypted, right? So how the encryption work? If that encryption doesn't work, it is the same scenario. You are sending very crucial data, somebody in the network is spoofing, and he is getting, and he got rich, because this is physical money is less. If I talk about your stocks, your equities, your options, you are sharing this data, he's happy, right? So how to send it, how the base of this encryption decryption happened? So this is a puzzle, right? So what this person did is, he actually applied the lock on the box, and this person has the key. He did not share the key, though this is the private key, he will not share. So he will apply the lock, he has the key, and he will send it to this. Now whoever is in between, the parcel guy, right, he will see the lock, right? He does not have the key, he will not be able to open it, and he will not break it also, right? Let's consider this. In software engineering, it's not easy to break. In hammer, in real world, it is able to break, but this is an analogy, right? In between, he's the parcel guy does not have the key, he will not be able to open. This guy received with the lock, this guy also won't be able to open it, right? Because the key is with him. So what he will do is, he will apply his own lock also. Yo, I got the locked item, he applied his own lock also and send it back. Now even I will not be able to open it, because I can open my lock, but I can't open his lock because he has the key, right? So even I will not be able to open this. So I have the key, I logged it, send it. Then he has his own lock, he has his own key, he also logged it and send it back. Finally I will also not be able to open it. Now what I will do is, I will open my lock, because I have the key. Let's say this is my lock, I will open my lock and send it. So I open my lock and send it. And this the he has the key for this lock, and he's also able to open it. And finally the box is opened. In between, whoever is the hacker, he was not able to open it, because the key, personal keys, was never ever shared, right? I will repeat. So if I'm sending the box directly, it is a very risky thing. What I will do is, I will lock it, I will not share the key, send it. Now this guy, he can also not open till now, because the box is locked and key is with me. Now this guy also introduce his own lock and send it back to me. Now I can open my lock, but I can't open the box, because the I don't have key uh, to the lock which he did. He also did the lock, right, with his lock. I don't have the key to it, so even I can't open it. I can only open one lock. Now I did the same. I opened my lock and send it. Now the other lock key this person has, this also opened it, and he also got the data. In between, there was no key shared, and there was no nothing, no delivery boy will have access to open the box. So this thing is clear to everyone, this analogy? Yes, time taken increase, but when you are talking to remote server, and these things are critically very important. So center, this is, yes, yes, Atanu. Hello, center. So this analogy is clear to you, In case any doubt, let me know. So both are putting their own lock, and finally I'm opening my lock. Finally, when it reaches here, he is opening the lock, and he is the one who has access to the box. No one else has access to the box. Even when I sent him first time, after that even I don't have access to the lock, because he put his lock. I don't have access to the key. Opened my lock, I can't open his lock, so even I don't have access. Once I sent the data, I sent it. Now he went it, he opened his lock, the key is with him, the key is with nowhere, and he opened his lock. I repeat it again because there are people who might not understand it, but even if you don't understand, it's fine. But sir, the shared data comes once again. Yes, yes, correct. So this is you read about handshake and all. There is a lot of handshake and all involved initially. So that is a first time thing. Once the handshake is there, then you are good. And let me explain. I have 7 minutes only, but let me explain. This to and fro is happening only one time. So let me. My screen is shared, right? My screen is shared. Can you give me thumbs up? Okay. So let me try to again open it. This is always the problem. Give me a minute. Actually, when I'm mirroring my phone, right, it is in developer mode, and developer mode automatically Android switches off after some time. 1 second. Auto blocker. Auto blocker. Again. USB. USB debugging on. By auto blocker. Give me a minute. We are going to discuss very interesting thing. Please don't drop, because one person asked, it is very time consuming. Here and there we are going, but I'm answering that. USB debugging. Okay, it's on. Let me try to. Yeah, I'm able to share my screen. So everyone, you are, please give me thumbs up. You are able to see I mirrored my screen. Oh, great, great. Yeah. So let me explain you. Just a second. I'm not going into very deep mathematics, because if I go into very deep mathematics, right, you will feel overwhelmed, right? So, but I'm taking the example of colors, which will make much sense to a lot of you. And but the concept is exactly same, right? So, for example, this is the client, right, and this is the server, right? uh, this is the client, or maybe I can say one is Alex, one is Bob, and I want to transfer some data to both of you, right? So now consider this thing. We both agreed there is one person who is spoofing, who can listen to what we are sending, right? Now consider this. We agreed to a common color. For example, we say, I generated yellow. I told him, like, you also use yellow color. For example, now this is kind of public. You had heard about public key, private key. This is public information. And this guy also say, oh, yellow is being exchanged. We are good, right? Now Alex will actually generate one private color which he will be never sharing with anyone. Let's say he generated red, Bob generated green, right? This red and green, right? So now if you see y plus red, let's say this becomes orange, and y plus green, I'm not good in color combination, but you can assume this becomes pink, right? Now this red is private to Alex, green is private to Bob. This is never shared with anyone in the network, right? And they got mix of colors. This got Alex has orange, he has pink, because they have mixed their own color, which they have never shared with anyone. Now let's say Bob gives pink to this person, Alex. Now it will, what it will do is, it already has orange, right? now it will mix pink, right? Now, now you see, this it is pink being shared here, right? Now this orange is actually shared with Bob. Both are sharing their own mixture of color. So Bob mixed it with his private color, shared pink with the Alex. He mixed, got it orange, and sharing the orange with the Bob. So this is orange color and this is pink color, right? Now just look at this thing, right? They in so let me remove it. Bob generated pink color, Alex generated orange color. Now it will try to mix its own personal color, private. This is a private key. This is a private key, right? He got, sorry, he got pink, right? Sorry, he got pink. He got pink from here. From here he got pink. I will start from the beginning so that it is not confusing. Both actually agreed to yellow color. Both generated their personal color. Alex generated red, Bob generated green. Both mixed it. He got y plus red yellow, and he generated green. Yellow plus green, let's say it is pink. I'm just giving an example. Now these two mixture of color, they are exchanging. Bob is sending pink to Alex, right? And orange Alex is sending to Bob, right? Now Bob got orange from the Alex, and his private color is what? Green is its private color. He will try to mix its own private color. Now Alex got pink from where? From Bob, and his private color is red. He will try to mix, right? Now understand this concept, right? This pink color, this pink color is actually what? Yellow plus green. Yellow plus green. From there I got pink. And this will be yellow plus green plus red. This orange color is what? Yellow plus red. This is what? Yellow plus red. So ultimately I am seeing yellow plus red plus green. This is yellow plus green plus red. This is yellow plus red plus green. The sum of the, I am mixing the same colors. Let's say it gave me magenta. It also gave me magenta. In between, the person who was sniffing, he only got yellow color. He only got pink color. It came from here. He only got orange color. But there is no way he can reach magenta because there are the person private keys involved. And if I encrypt the data with this, I have a data D. So I encrypt the data with magenta, right? He also has magenta. He can inverse it. He can inverse of the data he received. He received MD and MMD. He also got the data, right? So this is clear to everyone. I gave the color analogy so that uh, you can better understand. My screen was visible when I was writing, right? Great, great. So you understood. This is a simple thing where both got access to the same key, but actually in the network there was only public key, public data shared, but with the private data only these people have, and they were actually came they were actually resolved down to same key, right? That with the inverse relation. And now one question, like how this is time taking, right? Now key generating key is one time process. Generating key is one time process. After that encryption decryption is happening. It is only one to and fro, which is called handshake and all. One time to and fro happened and they came out with the common key, right? And after that encryption is happening with the same key, decryption is happening with the same key. So receiver and this sender and receiver will be able to access the data. So clear, right? Everyone, any thumbs up? Okay, if you didn't get, it's fine. We will discuss in much detail later when you will come to the campus, right? So great, great, Shubham, great. Actually, this build with AI tool part two, we already it was discussed like we need two sessions, but in one session we did vibe coding. So I don't think if I again tell you vibe coding, you might feel like I'm not learning something great. So thought. So I think you have another session. I'm getting the call again and again. So please join that session. Thank you, Atanu. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.